Twisting, turning. That's a penalty, is it? No, he's still going. Oh, how about that? How about that?
Two friends, two minds, and one love for Arsenal Football Club. You are now listening to the Caught in Two Minds podcast.
Meanwhile, Shelly weaves his way through.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the podcast, Caught in Two Minds. I'm E. Marshall. That man over there is Fitz. What's really going on? You know?
Hey,
how you been, big fella?
oh man, it's been a nice, easy Saturday, nice and relaxing.
I feel you.
Kind of love a Saturday morning Arsenal game.
Yeah, get it in, get it out. You know,
Yeah.
9 a.m. here in Dallas. What time was it for you? 7?
7.
Did you make it on time?
Made it on time today.
Good job.
Made it on time today.
I chilled, laid around. Ate some breakfast. I watched it about 10.
Okay.
It helps me when I do that. When I delay the watch, it helps me to like stay off Twitter.
Right.
Just kind of just cruise around, do a little couple chores. Get food ready, get all dialed in.
Gives you that opportunity at halftime to skip right by the
boom
pundits.
Right.
The expert opinion.
So here we go. Arsenal away at Burnley. Tough more. And they come away with a 1-0 win. I'm going to do a quick little summary. Come on. Odegaard scores on a tremendous free kick in the first half. Defense was solid. We win the game 1-0. What did you think about the lineup changes? I know you're gonna clown me. Before you get going, this is a lineup you kind of been asking for. ESR and Odegaard playing at the same time, like they can handle it.
Got them both out there. It wasn't the same way either one of us talked about how we might be able to get them both out there on the pitch.
Right.
But I did hearken back to, I know Odegaard has played deeper in the pitch before for Madrid and things like that.
Yeah.
I think what's a little bit different about the way he set that midfield up, which has dawned on me a little bit, is do we have enough talent that Partey could sit back there, can sit deep by himself?
I see what you're saying.
Physically, I don't think we've been capable of doing that for a long time, to just have one guy kind of covering the back.
Right.
But I think it's a sign of what he believes he has between his two center backs, and then maybe a Partey that you can go ahead and let ESR bomb up a little bit, or Odegaard bomb up a little bit.
I thought I wanted Lakanga and Partey to play together and ESR in the 10. That's how I kind of envision it. And whoever's in better form between ESR and Odegaard, I think should play that number 10 role. And so when I saw them both out there playing at the same time, I was okay with it because like you said, I know Odegaard can pick a pass. Last week, he picked a couple of nice, beautiful passes over the top to Aubameyang, and he could spread the ball around, and he's a busy player. He gets around the pitch. So I figured, okay, no big deal. But going forward, I would like to see Lakanga and Partey play in that middle part of the pitch. And whoever's in better form, and based off today, it's clearly Odegaard. What do you think about? I mean, do you like that, or you still think they should play at the same time, those two?
I think defensively that makes us more solid.
What I said?
Yep.
Okay.
But I feel like we've got a seniority respect kind of issue in there that he's probably just not going to start Lakanga over a couple of these guys that
Shaka.
that he's either spent more money on or committed to for 6 years now, Xhaka, stuff like that.
Right.
But while that's being said, I'll just take my time to get my shot in once again. There's not one midfielder that was on the pitch today that's worse than that can't do what Xhaka does.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing Xhaka offers us that we were missing today out of our midfielders.
Right.
You know?
Completely agree. Completely agree.
I mean, I don't want to just always bring it up, but it just baffles me. The whole decision making on the Xhaka thing just doesn't. A lot of it doesn't make sense to me.
It is weird that he's one of the first names on the team sheet every week. You know, when he hasn't gotten sitting off or done something stupid.
Yeah.
You know, he's usually one of the first names on the sheet.
With so many people in his camp, just Xhaka leading our troops.
And sometimes he's captain. You know what I mean? If Aubameyang's not playing.
Yeah.
And this is a guy who's very irresponsible when he plays, you know, to be a leader on the team. He's an irresponsible player at times. And we can go on and on about how many times he's cost us. But you might be right about that. But I think, if we can jump ahead to this right now. I mean, to me, that would be our best midfield. I think Lokonga, Partey, and Odegaard in the 10. And, if he's out of form, ESR. But I think, Odegaard and Partey are really trying to push this team forward as far as making passes forward, trying riskier passes. They're usually like the only two that do it where, Partey's don't come off as much as Odegaard's, but at least he's trying. And I just like the way Lokonga is busy. He's out there. He's, breaking up plays. He's a big kid. I
love the work he puts in. I will point this one thing out about that. The way he started them today, it felt refreshing to have Lokonga coming off the bench.
True.
In a 1-0 game where it was like, okay, let's just make sure we lock everything down. Where I don't think you even look at that option going the other way. If Lokonga's on the pitch, we're now in a 1-0 game. It's getting late. Bring some fresh legs in. Well, neither Odegaard or ESR is like a defensive option in that situation.
But you got Xhaka, you got
But then you probably go Xhaka or Maitland-Niles. But then do we end up going?
If you're talking about a situation where it's 1-0, the 75th minute, you could bring in Xhaka.
Well, but what I'm saying though, then we're talking about a game that we basically went through the game and decided that either ESR or Odegaard couldn't get a place on the pitch today.
Yeah,
And I mean that's something that happens. But I mean, when I start counting up all the midfielders we have, I got other guys I want to not get some time on the pitch.
Right, I got
before
you.
these guys get their time on the pitch.
I got you. I just that's a good point. That's a good point. I just think ESR was really disappointing to me today. Like he looked like he was keyed out there. You know what I mean? Like he was off the ball. He wasn't really connected with anybody. When he came off the pitch, his head was down. He just didn't look like he had it today. And I was gonna say the same thing about Saka. You know what I mean? But he kind of got it going towards the end there a little bit. But ESR, this is an opportunity. You're playing in the 10. You're wearing number 10, and he just, he didn't show me. He did, and I've been the guy talking about, hey, come on, get him out there.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I mean, I definitely get it. I'm probably not quite as hard just because I get very frustrated watching not soccer as much, but watching ESR, like just trying to slip into holes. And
man, Pepe, I see. They always try to make runs off the ball and nobody's getting it to him. That's true.
And there's just, I mean, it's not that like, it's not. You know what? It's just I got a problem blaming anybody except maybe Arteta. And I mean, I can only say it just because like the
form, huh?
Well,
Everybody's form.
It's the lack of like you were saying, like at least Odegaard is trying to get a pass up there every once in a while and slip it through, but it's almost like the attitude of everybody out there is to not be risky.
Right.
You know, the announcer even made a point of it where he says, boy, it really feels like Arsenal needs to see every pass before they're making that.
I was just going to say that. I was going to say it looked like, and especially in the beginning of the game, it looked like fools didn't know who to pass it to or where to move to. And you see a lot of standing around. The ball moves so slow, our passes. You know what I mean? If he's trying to, you know, be like Pep or whatever style he wants us to play, one touch, quick passing, we're nowhere near that. Like a lot of standing, you know what I mean? Like, go ahead. I'm sorry. But yeah.
No, you're not coming up. But I mean, it just brings up more and more
That's
things
a good
in
point.
my head that just bugs me about the way that style is. It's like,
we're not doing
it's just so rigid and
yeah.
And there's never a point where it feels. I mean, there are points at some point. You know, there is like a point where he snaps them. Well, he tells the players like, okay, let's push for a little bit. And they try to trap balls and they try to close the ball down for a little while and go from. I don't know. Maybe he's trying to conserve energy, make sure we got enough juice towards the end of games. And blah,
I noticed
blah, blah.
that too. I noticed that too.
Just a lack of like anybody. Like I noticed immediately because like you were saying with the whole like kind of Pep thing or whatever. Like I've said it many times, it is how soccer's played now. And if you want to move the ball from the back, it's got to be quick. One-touch passes.
Right.
The whole point of making sure all your guys are in their positions is so players don't even have to think about where the next pass should be able to go. He's got two options. He knows
what area,
either going here or here, and just let the pass go. But we're so deliberate about just picking out the guy and then moving the ball. And
exactly, you really noticed that in the midway through the first half, like you saw Gabriel get a little frustrated about what's going on. Where do I pass the ball? Who's around? And yeah, it just didn't look like there was no cohesion with our passing game really.
Yeah.
As far as speed of pass, there were periods in the game where we keep the ball, we'd make passes, but everything was so slow, and Burnley just eat that shit up.
Yeah.
They won a nice, slow, physical game. Another point to go along with what you said is there was periods throughout the first half where we'd be on the go, bright, making quick pass, not making quick passes, but at least trying to keep possession. We would be trying to keep possession and slowly move the ball up the pitch. But all of a sudden, it's like it's almost like it was tactics. Like we were trying to catch them on the counter. Like we'd let them have it for a while.
Kind of trying to drag them towards them a little bit.
Right, because everything just switched on a dime, and all of a sudden it's like, we're not really trying to keep the ball at all. We're lumping it forward. They're getting the ball and they're bringing it back up. And it was almost like we were trying to set a trap for them that never worked.
Yeah.
And we never got back to, keeping possession and just trying to methodically break this team down. We never got back to that. It was just a mess for the rest of the game to me.
And I think you're probably on the same page with me. Like part of what we're talking about with that slow pass, it's actually just physically slow too.
Right.
Like if you're going to look to the left and decide like, all right, I'm going to pass it back to Gabriel, don't lollygag the pass. Kick it over there to him.
Get it over to him.
So he can get the ball and maybe he can turn around and find somebody that's cutting.
Right.
But if it comes slow,
right,
the whole Burnley defense shifts over in
get
their
in the position
and they've got everybody covered again. And it's like, and that's, I mean, it's literally actually maybe more because I've already accepted like this is how Arteta wants us to play, is to play it out of the back.
Right.
I just want it to be crisper. Just come on, bang, bang, bang. Let's go. Like
we got to do it the right way.
Yes. And I feel like our best run at the end of last season especially when we were seeing a lot of Saka and ESR getting their work done. We, because out of desperation, things were looking so bad that everybody just started kind of picking it up a little bit more, and that's when ESR and Saka are going like they, hit lanes and. Pass, bump it. Go. Let's go.
You know who was responsible for that on the under? On the under, look at me. Laka coming deep, picking up the ball, springing Saka or ESR on either side. We saw a lot of that when Aubameyang was hurt. He had malaria. Some last season, he had all kind of shit jumping off. But Laka would come in, get the ball deeper, and spring it. And we just don't have that now. And that's fine and dandy, but I just think our main problem now, like you said, is we gotta make quick passes. We gotta make quick decisions and quick passes. One touch, pass it. Doesn't matter if you're passing it back, sideways, just get it, one touch pass. Quick. Let's get the ball moving. And then you'll start to see us break teams down more. But right now, it looks like we're just, fool. It looks like fools don't even like they just met up that day to play some soccer together because it was just off.
I mean, towards the end of the game, it was kind of scramble time when all the guys came off the bench to help us out and stuff.
Right.
But you know what? If you notice,
what
that little athletic crew, they don't hold the ball. Lukonga grabs the ball, turns, and goes.
Nuno
Tavares, he might make a mistake, but I tell you what, he'll go get the ball back and he'll take off on your ass.
Very aggressive. He cracked me up. He went on a long run and took a shot. He could have slipped somebody. He's like, "Fuck it, man, I'm going for it." He's not playing around. I like that kid's attitude. We'll talk about him in a second.
Yeah,
but let's we'll go ahead and do an overall back four, and I want to, because my whole theory with the goalkeeping situation is whoever's in better form. So after each game, I want to kind of come in here and do who's going to keep the shirt. You know what I mean? Next week, next game, who keeps the shirt between Ramsdale and Leno? Go ahead.
So we're starting with our goalie?
Yeah, we'll do that first.
So I'll quote something Arteta said a couple days ago when asked, because all of a sudden the break came out that, this is part of the plan. Ramsdale's starting today because he told Leno he was getting 2 games off in the Premier League before the Tottenham game. So everybody's assumption was, so Leno's going to be back. So Leno's your number 1. Right. And then they asked Arteta a couple days ago, and Arteta basically kind of giggled and said, I haven't even decided my goalie for this Saturday. How could I tell you who my goalie is for next Saturday?
Oh, wow.
So that tells me that the job is still up in the air, and this is a worthwhile conversation.
Because he listens.
Sure we analyze our goalie.
Because he listens to this podcast, but go ahead.
Very secretly, he knows where the science is dropped. You know
what I mean? But go ahead. Look, he played ESR today. But go ahead.
So I'll just say that Ramsdale was solid as a rock.
No brainer.
Solid as a rock today. I never felt like he was caught out of position.
Aggressive off his line. There was a situation where a ball came in and it was kind of a 50-50, and he hollered all he yelled Gabriel off and caught the ball.
Yes.
That's all I want is communications. And he did that a couple times where the Arsenal defender was getting ready to clear it, but he got a yell from Ramsdale, and Ramsdale came and caught it. Communication, and the back four looked comfortable. They didn't look all sketchy. They looked comfortable. There was a period there where Gabriel kind of, he gets a little wild and shit. That's the Koscielny in him. But for the most part, and I'm going to switch it over to the back four, they look comfortable together. They look like a good unit.
They do. They do.
They really do. Go ahead.
I say, you know what? Center back is a more technical position than a lot of people like to give it credit for.
Especially nowadays, definitely.
So when I watch Ben White, I do see him.
Go ahead.
You know, he's working it out still. He's working it out a little bit, you know. And I know
good point.
His athletic ability tells him some of the times when we're playing it out of the back and they're getting pressure is that he wants to just like, well, let me just go around this. I'll take him. You know? But he's trying to so I can see in his head, he's trying to work out in this system and make sure he's got it down.
Right. Out of the four, I would say he was the one that was just kind of like every now and then you'd see him get caught, you know, almost get caught on the ball or try to do a little too much with it. But for the most part, I think, you know, they work good together because Gabriel's a spaz, he's aggressive, and Ben White is pretty calm and his positioning is pretty well. Tamayasu, shit, you know.
Don't even get me started, man.
He's from deep in Japan, like a cave city. You see that head?
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? He don't even look Japanese.
You know, like
samurai. You don't even look Japanese. That's how
you know my
sick
favorite thing about his day today?
The size of his head. Right.
Hey, a good right back, you know, left back sometimes you don't have to hear a thing from him.
No.
He just held his shit down. Right. You didn't really hear about a whole lot of problems coming off of there.
Good point.
Just handled his business, you know.
Handled his business. I think he won all his aerial duels and challenges.
I mean, how could he not?
You see the size of that fool's head? Woo! Not one smile all game.
I mean, I know y'all saying, look at the size of my head right now, but I know. Come on now.
You got a head like Tamayasu, fool. Your mama. So that leads me into the team attitude. Looks like it's being formed in the back. Gabriel is not playing around, dude. Gabriel is trying to jerk knots and fools. He's banging into people. He's rallying the troops during corners. He's clapping and shit. He's trying to get fools on point.
Yep.
And Tamayasu hasn't smiled all season. You know what I mean? Not one grin. He's like dialed in. Tyranny. Got his shorts all long and shit. And I mean, Ramsdale, we got to I like the attitude that's being formed in the team. There's not a lot of giggling out there, except for Alba. But even he wasn't giggling today because he didn't. Go ahead. What do you think about the team attitude?
That different kind of flow that's on the pitch, I think, is what is actually. I mean, really, if you pointed out the guys like we talked about ESR and Saka, Tierney at times feels like he's trying to kind of refill out his role a little bit. Like I don't need you to be everything now. I need you to just be solid. And then Abba. I mean, it's the guys that were there with us that are still like trying to figure out like how to play with added talent around them. Just better, you know.
Yeah.
Like you think anybody playing in our defensive midfield would just be going like, oh, wow. Like I don't have to keep charging back to try to save the day because I got two solid center backs and
with speed. Yeah.
And a keeper that's listening and is like
gonna come out. Right.
Yeah, you know.
Right. No, that's a good point. It does look like you see Abba and it's just like he's trying to figure it out too. You know, out there.
Little bit, you know.
Pep, I mean, I watched the Wolves game and they constantly tried to get him the ball. Adama Traore, Bo Jackson.
Oh.
You know, and I sometimes I feel bad for Pepe, man, because he makes good runs. You see him during the game, off the ball, he'll try to make a good run, but he's not really getting the pass. I will say this about him today. He didn't get caught on the ball as much as he usually does. You know what I mean? So that's a little
nope. And I will say for the little bit of knock that we did on ESR, I do think that ESR playing around over there on Pepe's side helps Pepe out.
Yes,
his little interior runs just inside of Pepe frees some space up for Pepe to kind of do stuff with that left foot of his.
that's true. That's true. When
Now,
Tommy also
ESR
too.
doesn't get the ball always, and that's
No.
because Pepe likes to play with it. He likes to take the ball on the wing and kind of set up a play if he can.
There was a couple opportunities for ESR to make a nice run off the ball and maybe go through the goal, and he just wasn't going. Like I think Saka tried to slip it to somebody else because ESR did make that angled run. If you go back and check it out, but yeah, I'm not like casting him aside or anything.
No.
He's just I'm just saying he's a young kid. There's going to be peaks and valleys, and it's good. He's got good. If he does it the way I want him to do it with Odegaard, that's good competition for ESR.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? If you want to play more, when you get the opportunity to play, you got to perform. Today you didn't.
Yeah.
So this is a learning experience for him. He's more athletic, I think, than Odegaard to play that 10 role. But Odegaard, he's got his shit together. He's a dialed-in football player. You could just tell. He's one of those guys who's like, okay, let's do this.
Highly skilled, and
yeah. No, it's
I mean, when you start watching him set up for passes and like wow, looks like a lot. Looks
Fabregas,
kind of a lanky lefty.
Well, yeah, totally. Okay, so I
do that little bendy cross over the top. One time Abba got mad. Well, I mean, not mad, but he was just like, oh, you should have gave it to me on my feet. And I know why Abba kind of thought like that, but Odegaard's like, man, my drop pass is so sweet. Just go. Go,
I remember that one. And how about the free kick? What was funny about the free kick was beautiful, but what was funny about it is Partey was back there, like he was gonna take it and shit. He kind of ran over it. The keeper didn't move. Nobody knew. Everybody knew you weren't gonna take it. And another thing, when they first got the free kick, I was thinking, oh, Pepe's got to take this. I was hating kind of. I was like hating on Odegaard until he kicked.
Pepe wasn't even standing there, right?
It was Abba, Partey, and Odegaard and Pepe, and then Pepe drifted off, and I was like, oh shit, Pepe's not gonna take us. What is this? And then boom, he shut my mouth up real quick. Beautiful game winner, match winner.
So I'm gonna
go ahead.
So first of all, just the goal in general, beautifully struck. I did actually. When they started separating, and I took a good look at where the ball was and stuff, and I was like, Odegaard should love this, is what I was thinking.
Okay.
And then he took it.
Yeah.
But I didn't, it's not like I went on that because, I know he strikes good free kicks, but I just know he's got a good left foot.
Yeah.
And where it was set up, I was like, I think that should be a nice Odegaard take. And then he took it. I was happy about that. And I will. My boy, y'all gonna wonder if this is our only fan. He might be our only fan, but Little Deuce Stables' point was all over this free kick. He said the same exact thing you said. He texted me real quick and was like, that's hella funny. Partey's back there acting like he might take this.
All right, you see what I'm saying? What is it? Little Deuce Stables 11, I think, on Twitter.
Is there a number with it too?
I think so.
I don't know. I mean, my homies don't know how to pick a name, so No. But wait, the other thing that he pointed out about that free kick, I don't know if you noticed too, which I noticed it, but it didn't dawn on me like it was like that was. But he says, isn't it a trip? Why would you line your tall players to short players that way?
Mm-hmm.
If the guy's going to shoot to the outer post, and if you look at their wall that they made, they had tall guys blocking the middle of the goal, and their shorter guys were out there protecting the outside post. And he went right over the short dudes, right into the corner. It was
that is weird.
Yeah,
that is weird how they do that.
If you're going to line them up that way, you got to put the other guys on. It was weird.
They had it was people everywhere in that wall. You know what I mean?
We had 3 in front of them, and
right. But no, it came from nowhere. Like I was getting to the point where, I started dozing off, and I was, on Instagram and shit, looking at, fitness models and shit, just kind of like, what's going on? We're playing. Great, yeah, come on. You know what I mean? But then boom, he made the kick.
Oh, look, that dog is wearing a Halloween costume. That's cute. Hey.
Dogs, food recipes, and big asses. Those are all that's my Instagram algorithm sends me all the time. So what
dominated.
What are you gonna do? Okay, so we're done. But before we go, was it a good win?
I'm gonna say yes, it was a good win. Mostly because the team they moved and played as a unit. Other guys backed other guys up. It felt like Burnley had some chances, but not really. They really didn't have like a lot of nothing quality.
No, it was that one. And
they're big and rugged, and we can kind of expect that they were probably going to get some heads on a few balls here and there and things like that.
Yeah.
But overall, I thought the team played solid. They played together. A clean sheet, I'll take it.
Another one.
Yeah,
I anytime you win, it's a good win. I think it's one of those ones where I was like, it's defensively we're solid. We're kind of clicking defensively. Looks like we got it. Looks like we're organized. We got a keeper that's communicating with the back four. They're everything is coming together as far as defensive.
Yeah.
With just the chances. Like Aubameyang is never at the spot. It's like he's never in the middle, like on crosses, and I think that has to change. He's got to be a little more.
Jump in real quick while you're talking about Abba.
Go ahead. Yeah,
there was at least one, which Little Dew pointed out to me as well. I noticed it right at the same time, but he doesn't. The whole effort. I don't care what anybody says, man. You guys could. Not you, but just people in general. Y'all could love him for the goals he scored over his career, and even the goals he can potentially put in the net for us. But y'all got to understand, like that the effort is not all out. It's not Lacazette effort. So at the end of the game, when somebody misses a shot and it gets deflected and it looks like it might go out and it bounces 3 times and it's still not out, and you're still not willing to go run and get the ball.
Oh, Nuno ran all the way over there.
Nuno runs by you and goes and gets the ball, and then you just sit back like, pass me the ball now. The whole thing looks so lazy where I just feel like, dude, if you're going to start him, go ahead and be ready to pull Abba at like 60th minute when we need all-out effort to win a game, a 1-0 game that's on the line, That was basically where I was leading to. There was a lot of times where you could just tell he wants the ball where he scored his goal last time. He wants it right on the edge of the box. And we're trying to cut through there and put a cross in, and he's nowhere to be found. Pepe was in there a couple of times trying to make shit happen. Even Tomiyasu was, it just seems like Abba wants to play out wide left, cut in on his right foot, and take some shots. And I hate to say that, but that's just the way that looks like what he wants to do. I get lambasted for saying that though, but he plays out on the wing. And
here's the funniest part. He's successful doing that.
Yeah.
Why make him try to be some kind of big strapping number 9 who's going to go in there and fight or even make runs off people? He won't even really. He did it a couple times last week, but he was out wide right, and Odegaard found him and looped it off. It's never down the middle. So when we're making crosses and we're trying to penetrate through the middle and slip little through balls, there's nobody there. There's nobody there. And I think that's part of the problem with us not creating chances, or not creating a lot of good chances to score good goals. So,
yeah,
was it a good win? Yeah, we needed it. That's 2 in a row. We could maybe build some momentum off this and keep rolling. We got Wimbledon, AFC Wimbledon. Let me see. On Wednesday, EFL Cup 3rd round. Who knows where that's going to be on TV? I think ESPN Plus. I hope so.
Yeah.
Because if it's Peacock, who knows what's really, who knows? Who knows? But yeah, that's Wednesday, AFC Wimbledon. When there will be no podcast. There will be no podcast Thursday. We're not going to break down the fucking EFL Cup Wimbledon match, okay? This is a fun, have a good time, shoot the shit with your friend podcast. There's only one thing to
look out for Wimbledon, folks. Will Charlie Patino get some time?
Okay.
The whole club and everybody's going crazy, and they say he's supposed to be on the roster for the Wimbledon game.
Well, that would be a good time for him to get some time. That would be a very good time, and I hope to see that. But I'm not hyping this kid up. I don't
know nothing about him. I've seen a couple highlights. That's it.
Right. I'm not hyping this kid up. I wish him the best, of course, because he plays for Arsenal. But we've been down this road before. And, it's funny that Jack is now at the club practicing and, trying to do all kind of shit to get a job. But he was Bobby Bettino before Bobby Bettino was even born. So come on.
Yeah. Look, all you got to do to get the firm fired up about Jack is just go show the goal again. Just go show that 6-touch goal with Giroud and everybody, and bang, 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 and everybody goes, "We need Jack. We need Jack back."
there was a few people on my Twitter feed talking about they would have that clip going, and they'd be like, "I mean, with the way the midfield's going now and our lack of creation, maybe we should." This fool. I mean, come on. I love Jack.
I mean, it is one of the craziest things, right? You're telling me we don't need this? Look at that.
Yeah, our fan base is sick. But the Champions League game away at the new camp, Jack, I mean, he had me like that. I was
never made me more proud.
I was sprung. I was like, look at this guy. He's going to be great. And then he got crocked. And when you get crocked, you don't get uncrocked. If you got bad ashy feet, like he's pigeon thighed too. His legs are all turned in. That shit don't go away.
He walked like he's been riding bulls in Alabama.
Right. I wish him nothing but the best. But come on, this is Arsenal. Let's come on.
Yeah.
Anyway, that'll do it. Thanks for all the support. Thanks for tuning in. It's fun, dude. This is a podcast where we just shoot the shit, man. We're not trying to break that. You see podcasts where fools are analyzing. Regular dudes like us are analyzing passes and angles and shit. It's just like, have a good time.
I get the notification like 5 minutes after the game. We're going live. We're going to talk about our predictions that we had, and and I'm just like, whoa! Everybody thinks they're doing ESPN,
right? So this is where we're going the other way with it. We're chilling. We're having a good time. We're shooting the shit, and I don't agree with his opinion sometimes, but whatever. I'm smarter.
And I mean, to be honest, folks, I'll play it. To be honest, folks, half the time when I say somebody reached out to me and said something, I'm lying.
Oh wow, are you really? Well, I'm not, people. I'm not looking to
never about Little Deuce Stables, number 11. Never.
Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the support. Podcast coming out shortly. We got a link tree, Cotton Two Minds. We're on Twitter at CNTM Podcast. That's at Guna Rush. Peace.
One more shout out for Kramer. Peace.
Who is that? Big Josh?
Big Josh.
Okay. He's listening?
Always.
Wow.
Probably our first listener.
Wow. Okay. Look at me. Look at me. Baltimore.
Yeah. He won't go watch us on YouTube.
Oh yeah, he's a grown up.
He's a listen only, yeah.
He's a grown up. Well, I like that. All right. Baltimore, who is that? Omar just died from the wire.
Michael K. Williams.
I call him Omar and shit. Like that's his real name. How'd that hit you? Did you cry? Did you send out some?
It was a weird one.
You sent out some tweets.
Most of them don't hit too hard anymore, but every once in a while you're like, "Oh wow, oh okay." All right.
I didn't bat an eye.
Yeah.
So people are dying all the time, man. Like,
hey, part of hitting, your good old early Middle Ages. When you
I don't think that has anything to do with it with me. You know what I mean? I'm just a savage.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, you're numb.
I got a different.
You're numb with no feelings. I get it.
I got a different perspective on things. But yeah, people die every day. He was a good actor. Anyway.
Hey, I'm gonna leave this for all the fans. Xhaka really can't make my team. Not right now. He can sit on my bench and play Thursday nights. Peace.
You never no. You never said who your midfield pairing was gonna be.
Oh, I didn't? Let's go with I go with this midfield today.
You like it?
It's the most talented midfield we have. I'll just leave it at that.
So that's Partey, Odegaard, and ESR at the 10. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, I can go with that. All right, man. Well, that's gonna do it. Thanks for tuning in and peace out, man.
Peace.
I'm gonna cut all that shit out about Omar and all that. I'm gonna cut all that shit out.
Twisting, turning. That's a penalty, is it? No, he's still going. Oh, how about that? How about that?
Thank you for tuning into Caught in Two Minds. Please head on over to iTunes to subscribe, rate, and review. All feedback is much appreciated. And be sure to follow us on Twitter at CITM Podcasts, at Guna Rush, and at eMarshall Comedy. The music of this podcast is brought to you by Statics. If you like what you hear, please head on over to staticsmusic.com and be sure to follow them on Twitter and Instagram at Statics Music. That's STATX Music. Peace.